Kiev Pechersk Lavra Kyiv Pechersk Lavra, also known as the Kiev Monastery of the Caves, is a historic Orthodox Christian monastery which gave its name to one of the city districts where it is located in Kiev. Since its foundation as the Kiev Monastery in 1051, the Lavra has been a preeminent center of Eastern Orthodox Christianity in Eastern Europe. Together with the Saint Sophia Cathedral, it is inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The monastery complex is considered a separate National Historic Cultural Preserve, the national status to which was granted on 13 March 1996. The Lavra is not only located in another part of the city, but is part of a different national sanctuary than Saint Sophia Cathedral. While being a cultural attraction, the monastery is currently active. It was named one of the 7 Wonders of Ukraine on 21 August 2007, based on voting by experts and the Internet community. Currently, the jurisdiction over the site is divided between the State Museum, National Kiev Pechersk Historic Cultural Preserve, and the Ukrainian Orthodox Church as the site of the chief monastery of the church and the residence of its leader, Metropolitan Onufrius. Etymology and other names. The word Pegera means cave. The word Lavra is used to describe high-ranking male monasteries for monks of the Eastern Orthodox Church. Therefore, the name of the monastery is also translated as Kiev Cave Monastery, Kiev Caves Monastery of the Kiev Monastery of the Caves. Foundation and early history. According to the primary chronicle, in the early 11th century, Antony, an Orthodox monk from Sphigmenon Monastery on Mount Athos, originally from Lubeck of the Principality of Chernihiv, returned to Rus and settled in Kiev as a missionary of monastic tradition to Kievan Rus. He chose a cave at the Berestov Mount that overlooked the Dnieper River, and a community of disciples soon grew. Prince Iziaslav I of Kiev ceded the whole mount to the Antonite monks, who founded a monastery built by architects from Constantinople. Buildings and structures. The Kiev Pechersk Lavra contains numerous architectural monuments, ranging from bell towers to cathedrals to underground cave systems and to strong stone fortification walls. The main attractions of the Lavra include Great Lavra Bell Tower, the notable feature of the Kiev skyline, and the Dormition Cathedral, destroyed in World War II and fully reconstructed in recent years. Other churches and cathedrals of the Lavra include the Refectory Church, the Church of All Saints, the Church of the Saviour at Berestov, the Church of the Exaltation of Cross, the Church of the Trinity, the Church of the Nativity of the Virgin, the Church of the Conception of Saint Anne, and the Church of the Life-Giving Spring. The Lavra also contains many other constructions, including the St. Nicholas Monastery, the Kiev Theological Academy and Seminary, and the Dvosket Wall. Great Lavra Bell Tower. The Great Lavra Bell Tower is one of the most notable features of the Kiev skyline and among the main attractions of the Lavra. 96.5 meters in height, it was the tallest freestanding bell tower at the time of its construction in 1731 to 1745, and was designed by the architect Johann Gottfried Schadl. It is a classical-style construction and consists of tiers, surmounted by a gilded dome. Gate Church of the Trinity. The Gate Church of the Trinity is located atop the Holy Gates, which houses the entrance to the monastery. According to a legend, this church was founded by the Chernihiv Prince Sviatoslav II. It was built atop an ancient stone church which used to stand in its place. After the fire of 1718, the church was rebuilt, its revered facades and interior walls enriched with ornate stucco work made by master craftsman V. Stefanovich. In the 18th century, a new gilded pear-shaped dome was built. The facade and exterior walls were decorated with stucco molded plant ornaments and a vestibule built of stone attached to the north end. In the early 20th century, the fronts and the walls flanking the entrance were painted by icon painters under the guidance of V. Sonnen. The interior of the Gate Trinity Church with murals by the early 18th century painter Aepli Gallic is of great artistic value. The All Saints Church. The All Saints Church, erected in 1696 to 1698, is a fine specimen of Ukrainian Baroque architecture. Characteristic of the church facades are rich architectural embellishments. In 1905, students of the Lavra Art School painted the interior walls of the church. The carved wooden iconostasis is multi-tiered and was made for the All Saints Church in the early 18th century. Church of the Saviour at Berestov. The Church of the Saviour at Berestov is located to the north of the Kiev Pechersk Lavra. It was constructed in the village of Berestov around the start of the 11th century during the reign of Prince Volodymyr Monomakh. It later served as the mausoleum of the Monomakh dynasty, also including Yuri Dolgoruki, the founder of Moscow. However, being outside the Lavra fortifications, the Church of the Saviour at Berestov is part of the Kiev Pechersk Lavra complex. Caves. The Kiev Pechersk Lavra caverns are a very complex system of narrow underground corridors, along with numerous living quarters and underground chapels. In 1051, the monk Antony had settled in an old cave in one of the hills surrounding the Kiev Pechersk Lavra. This cave apparently grew, with numerous additions including corridors and a church, and is now what we know as the Far Caves. In 1057, Antony moved to a cave near the Upper Lavra, now called the Near Caves. Foreign travelers in the 16th–17th centuries had written that the catacombs of the Lavra stretched for hundreds of kilometers, reaching as far as Moscow and Novgorod, which had apparently brought about to the knowledge of the Kiev Pechersk Lavra around the world. Burials. There are over 100 burials in the Lavra. Below are the most notable ones: Ilya Muromets in the caves, Nestor the Chronicler in the Near Caves, St. Kuksha in the Near Caves, Aepli of the Caves in the Near Caves, Agapitus of Pechersk in the Near Caves, Oleg, son of Volodymyr II Monomakh, in the Church of the Saviour at Berestov, Euphemia of Kiev, daughter of Vladimir II Monomakh, in the Church of the Saviour at Berestov, Yuri Dolgoruki, in the Church of the Saviour at Berestov, Skirgaila, Regent Grand Duke of Lithuania, Konstanty Ostrogsky, near the Cathedral of the Dormition, Vasily Kochubey, near the Refectory Church, Ivan Iskra, near the Refectory Church, Pyotr Stolypin, near the Refectory Church, St. Spyridon, in the caves, Pope Clement I, his head in the Far Caves. Other people buried. During the Soviet era, the bodies of the saints that lay in the caves were left uncovered due to the regime's disregard for religion. However, after the fall of the Soviet Union, the bodies were covered with a cloth and to this day remain in the same state. Museum. The Kiev Pechersk Lavra is also one of the largest Ukrainian museums in Kiev. The exposition is the actual ensemble of the Upper and Lower Lavra territories, which house many architectural relics of the past. The collection within the churches and caves includes articles of precious metal, prints, high clergy portraits and rare church hierarchy photographs. The main exposition contains articles from 16th to early 20th centuries, which include chalices, crucifixes, and textiles from 16th–19th centuries, with needlework and embroidery of Ukrainian masters. The remainder of the collection consists of pieces from Lavra's printing house and Lavra's icon painting workshop. The museum also provides tours to the catacombs, which contain mummified remains of Orthodox saints of the relics. Museum on the Lavra territory. Museum of Historical Treasures of Ukraine. Martinica treasure. Book and Print History Museum, Museum of Ukrainian Folk Art, Theatre and Film Arts Museum, State Historical Library, Images, Others. Next to the monastery is located famous Kiev Arsenal factory, known for the Bolshevik uprising in 1917.